Sri Aurobindo from the book The Mother, Part 2, Letters on the Mother by our Lord. Chapter 9, The Mother and the Working of the Ashram. Page 307, New stanza. Sri Aurobindo says, you should certainly throw away the vital demand and the disturbance which it creates in your sadhana. Mother gives her smile to all, and she does not withhold it for some and give it to others. When people think otherwise, it is because some vital disturbance, depression, or demand, or some moment of jealousy, envy, or competition distorts their vision. Date 27th Feb 1933. On that day, says Sri Aurobindo, on that day, the mother did not smile at anybody. It was not personal to you. A particular power was acting in her which did not act in the ordinary way. Date 10th April 1934. If the mother does not put her hand on the head in pranam, it does not mean that she is displeased. It may have quite other causes. People have this idea, but they are quite mistaken. Some time ago, the mother failed to put her hand on the head of a sadhika at pranam for 2 days. People mocked at her and looked down at her. As a matter of fact, she was having remarkable realizations and getting more power from the mother at the pranam than on ordinary days. So the whole idea is an error. Date 2nd August 1933. Question. If the ego determines its revolt according to the mother's failing to smile or to put her hand on your head, how is it that at times it can remain quiescent in spite of her failing to do so? For the Sri Aurobindo says, the ego acts according to these things when it dominates. When it does not dominate or is not present, then these motives have no effect. The whole question is whether the ego leads or something else leads. If the higher consciousness leads, then even if the mother does not smile or put her hand at all, there will be no egoistic reaction. Once the mother did that with the sadhika, being herself in trance. The result was that the sadhika got a greater force and ananda than she had ever got when the mother had put her hand fully. Date 11th November 1935. Question. Yesterday it happened that the mother did not bless me with her hand during pranam, but I was more delighted and cheerful than usual. Why did this bring me more happiness? Why does it take place with me alone? For the Sri Aurobindo says that is not so. It has taken place with others. One of them at least found that she felt on such an occasion even more force of the mother than usual flowing through her than on ordinary occasions. Sri Aurobindo says it is not true. There are instances in which mother did not smile or put her hand at all, being in trance, but the sadhak, being in right and receptive attitude, received far more than ever before. Your idea about mother's mysterious smile is your own imagination. Mother says that she smiled with the utmost kindness and took the most helpful attitude possible towards you. I had written to you already that you must not put these imaginations between yourself and the mother, for they push the help given away from you. These imaginations and their effect on you are suggested by same vital forces that are disturbing you so that you may not get free from the disturbance. My help and the mother's help are there. You have only to keep yourself open to it to recover. Date 27th March 1933. Sri Aurobindo continues to say, why should you think that the mother will be angry? We have ourselves told you to write everything frankly and conceal nothing, so there is not the least likelihood that she will resent what you write. Moreover, she knows perfectly well the difficulties of the sadhana and of the human nature, and if there is a goodwill and sincere aspiration such as you have, any stumblings or falterings of the moment will not make any difference in her attitude to the sadhak. The mother thinks you must have had a wrong impression about her putting her hand just a little only, for she was just the same with you as always, and there has been no reason why there should be any change. Date 17th April 1933. Sri Aurobindo continues to say, Mother put her hand as usual. Not only so, but as she saw your condition needed special help, she tried to give it. But when you are in this condition, it is unfortunate that you are so much occupied with the feeling of misery as to feel nothing else, nothing that does not minister or increase the misery. Support you always have. There is absolutely no reason why we should withhold it. If anyone is in the serious trouble in the ashram, that falls on us and most on the mother. So it is absurd to suppose that we can take pleasure in anyone's suffering. Suffering illness, vital storms such as lusts, revolts, and angers are so many contradictions of what we are striving for and therefore obstacles to our work. To end them as soon as possible is the only will we can have, not to keep them in existence. If you could only acquire the power to detach yourself somewhere in you when these storms come, not to be swept away by the push or the thoughts that rise, then there would be something that could feel the support and be able to react against these forces. Date 28th June 1935. It is entirely untrue, says Sri Aurobindo. It is entirely untrue that the mother was pushing you away today. There may be days when she is absorbed and therefore physically inattentive to what her hand is doing. But today she was specially attentive to you, and at the pranam she was putting force on you for peace, tranquility, and the removal of difficulty. If she at all acted by the palm or anything else, it was for that she was acting. About this there can be no mistake, for she was specially conscious of her action and purpose today. What must have happened was that something must have felt the pressure and intervened and persuaded your physical mind by suggestion that it was you she was pushing you away and not the difficulty. This is a very clear instance of how easy it is for the sadhaks to make a wrong inference and think that the mother is doing the very opposite of what she is doing. Very often, when she has concentrated most to help them by pressing out their difficulties, they have written to her, "You were very severe and displeased with me this morning." The only way to avoid these wrong reactions is to have full psychic confidence in the mother, believing that all she does is for their good and out of the Divine Mother's care for them and not against them. Then nothing of this kind will happen. Those who do that can get the full help of her concentration, even if in her absorption she does not touch the hand or smile. That is why I have constantly told the sadhaks not to put their own interpretations on the mother's appearance or actions at the pranam, because these interpretations may always be wrong and make an opening for an unfounded depression and an attack. Date 23rd Jan 1935.